Welcome, crafty friends. Annie Collins here from the Pajama Crafter. Today we're going to create this Get Well Soon card. Let me go over the products I used to create this card. I used the Dr. Koala Bear stamp set. This is the Get Well Soon. There's also a Koala Nurse in this series. So this has a large image with several sentiments. Altogether, you have 15, some of them that you can mix and match. Now, this is a nice large image, and this is the stamp and die bonus set. So you have the die, and it cuts out the image altogether. You see, it's a nice big die, and it cuts out the entire image one shot, which I love. Right, so we have some great sentiments here. I'm going to pull out my stamp. It says, like, wishing you a speedy recovery, sending you lots of feel better, hugs and kisses. Sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Get well soon, which we'll use today. It also has love you, hugs and kisses. And then it has XOXO, hugs and kisses, really what that stands for. Hope you get well, wishes, feel better, and thinking of you. Those smaller ones you can mix and match with those. But the love you, XOXO, hugs and kisses, the hugs, the love, and thinking of you can be used throughout the year. So keep that in mind that this is a very versatile set where you can use it for other things like Valentine's or just a simple thinking of you. This image is super cute. We're using the entire image today and the Get Well Soon, the scripty Get Well Soon. All right, so I'm going to also bring in the Let's Play Ball 6x6 pattern paper. I'm going to use this one here, the little argyle looking one. Yes, I know this is baseball theme, but the little argyle gave me the, doctor vibes. This pattern paper has some of the sheets will be solid, some will have pattern on both sides. This pattern paper has pattern on both sides. Has the argyle on this side and the little ball players on the other. I'll be bringing in the Marshmallow cardstock. This is great for alcohol coloring as well as foiling. These are pre-cut panels, which I love. So I'm going to use this because I'll be alcohol coloring. I have my pattern paper. This is my Marshmallow cardstock. I'll set that to the side. Here's my card base. I have a piece of white cardstock that will be for our background. Well, we'll add, that'll be our spot for our image. And then I have some banner pieces. I have a white one for our sentiment, a red and blue one that I chose some cardstock that coordinated the best with the pattern paper. All right, I'm going to put all of that to the side. I'm just going to leave the Marshmallow cardstock here. And then I'm going to stamp our image. Then we can die cut it and color it. Color and die cut. Either way. So here I'm grabbing the image and my stamping platform. I have my little frog press. Now, if you're not into frogs, there's pigs, cats, dogs, and a ghost pumpkin. Don't hold me to the ghost pumpkin. I'm pretty sure it's a ghost pumpkin. If you would like a press of your own, it helps with just even pressure across your image so you get a nice, beautifully stamped image. All right, so that's all stamped. I'm just going to clean my stamp and then so I can put it away, because if I forget, then I go to use it again and it's a mess. All right, here's our sentiment. I'm going to bring it, place it here, and I will fuss with this a bit, because for me to get a good angle, I have to be right over it, and you'll see the back of my head, which is not fun. So I bring it towards myself so I could see it better. All right, so here I'm stamping it twice so I get a nice crisp sentiment, and then I'll set that to the side while we color. Now I've zoomed in my camera so we can better see what I'm doing, and I'm going to do my best to put the caps facing up so you can see the colors. I'm using cool grays here for our Koala little doctor. I'm using Olo markers. You use whatever alcohol markers you have, or color pencils, whatever coloring medium you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my darkest. I'm moving from darkest to lightest with the Olo markers today. I find you can go from dark to light from light to dark with Olos. You could do the same thing with Copics. It's just whatever you feel the most comfortable with. I'm not going to tell you how to color. You do what's best that feels comfortable to you. So I'm going to put in the darkest, and then I'm going to go to the next lighter color. And then finally, I move to a CG3, which is going to be my overall color of my koala doctor here. He is so cute. I'm just going to put in the little shadow areas. And then for his shirt, I'll make his shirt a pale blue. His tie, I'm going to pull in like a little bit of a tealy blue. I didn't want to go for that dark navy because there's quite a bit of navy on this. So I'm just going to keep coloring our little koala here. Like I mentioned with the koalas, there is another stamp that goes beautifully with this. And she's a koala nurse. She could be a doctor. She's basically a shiro. You can use her a doctor, but she's wearing scrubs. So she could be a nurse. She could be a doctor. It's so cute, this little, I guess, collection, for lack of a better word, because there's the two different medical koalas. So he's wearing a tie, but girls wear ties too. So it could be a boy, it could be a girl. It is a koala bear by all means. So I'm almost done here. I'm gonna bring in a little bit of red here. I'm using R02, which is like a real pale red, for adding a little color to his cheeks and a little color to the inside of his ears. And then I'll blend that all out with my lighter gray. So I left what most people would say is his tongue clear, but I saw it as his teeth, like he was like had bigger teeth. And I didn't color it. I just noticed that as I'm editing this. So if you prefer to color his tongue or his smile, I figured he's smiling. Those are his teeth. I didn't realize it until just now, but it is what it is. And I think he's so cute either way. So I add a little darkness to the bridge of his nose just to cast a little shadow there. And then I'll blend this all out to get it all nice and even. And I'll finish up his ears. And he's just about done. I'm just filling in all the last little bit. Just got that little thing bit here. And then I add a little shadowing in his ears because they are like that little flap, that little fold over. So I want to add a little shadowing there. Right? There we go. We're just about done here. And then we can move on to our little, oh no, I think it's got the color of jacket. For his jacket, I kept it simple. Just a little CG1, which is cool gray 1. Just add a little shadowing around it, being that most of them have white jackets. And then for like I said, for his shirt, I will bring in a light pale blue and then a darker blue for his tie. Just adding a little bit of shadowing here. That's it. Now, if you don't want to use cool gray, you can add a little pale blue to his jacket, whichever you prefer. So like I said, here's the lightest blue I'm using and the darker blue. Start with a little bit of, I did the lighter around his shirt, and then I'm moving in with the darker one on his tie. Just filling that in. Kept it really simple. I put a little bit of the blue, the lighter blue in there for a little bit of a highlight. And then I was like, I think I need to fill this in a little bit more. So I did. There we go. And now I'm going to start. I realize I need to fill in his shirt. I missed a few spots. Go ahead. Now we can start coloring our bear. So I'm going to pull in our colors for our bears. These are all brown colors. I start off with this real pale, it's OR 3.2. And then I have OR 3.4, 3.7, and 3.8 for our bear. I'm going to be honest with you. I think my camera shuts off and you miss a little bit of this coloring of the body. I start coloring, and then when I realized my camera's turned off because my battery died. But you get to see me finish off his head and his bandage and so forth. So I start out again with the darkest colors, and then I move on to my lighter colors and fill it in. And then I use that same red that we used earlier in his little ears, as well as his cheeks, just to give a little blush. So for his belly, there's the red for his little ears and a little bit on his cheeks. So the lightest color I used on his belly and his little paws. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring in a little bit darker just to add that little shadowing to it. I'm going to close all these up. See, I bring in just a tad more of the little bit darker color just to bring a little shadowing, because that's where the stethoscope, yep, I said that close enough, is on the little bear's heart. All right, so now we're going to color his little bandage here, and I went for a real pale almondy color. There we go. And that's 04.1. And I kept that simple. It's a bandage. Just that's it. And now what's left is our chair. For our chair, I brought a red in to pull in some of that red that's in there. So I went with a darker red. So it's R1.7. And if I'm correct, this would be like a Copic R39. Yeah. So then I did the little legs in a darkest brown, and all that's left is his little stethoscope. So I'm going to do the part that goes near his ears in the darkest gray I have, that goes into the ears, and the actual hearing part, I don't know what you call the pieces of the stethoscope, but the part that goes near your heart, I did that in the darkest color. And then this little piece here, I pulled in the same blue that we use for his shirt. So the B0.2. For his notepad, I'm going to pull in a little bit of the cool gray just because it's paper. And I just drew a few little lines looking like it's, a chart. And then the little coils, I did those in red, just so that we have a little red on him as well. So he's all colored. He and his patient are all colored. And we're going to add a little highlights with our white gel pen. But first, I'm going to cut him out. And I'm going to do that off screen because I have a big die cutting machine and it's too big to put into camera. I have the Empress. That's a heavy machine. All right, so I'm going to highlight their eyes, his tie, little dots on their cheeks, just to make it cute, his nose, and I think that's it. Yep. So here's everybody all done up. So cute. And I just use a Jelly Roll pen white. I use a number 10. So I'm going to bring in the rest of the components for our card so we can build it. So I'm going to adhere the pattern paper to our card base. And then I'm going to adhere the white cardstock that I had die cut from a die from my stash. And I'm not going to like it. And you'll see how I fix this. So I'm going to start by adhering, like I said, our pattern paper. Get that on there. And yes, I went generous with the glue. That's why my pattern paper is moving all over my card base. So I'm going to adhere this. And shortly after I placed it down, I realized I don't like it. I don't see enough of the pattern paper. This wasn't the vision I had in my head. But I still press it down, say, well, let me see. Maybe once I put, my image on here, I'll like it. I don't. So I ripped it off, wiped my pattern paper quickly, and cut this down, used the next size down, adhered it, and now I'm ready to go. So our sentiment, I adhered the white banner that had our sentiment to the blue banner, just giving it that little touch. And then I'm going to layer this. The sentiment will be popped up. Then I will place the red banner just above it, which will kind of fool the eye and make it look like it's the little floor for our doctor and patient, as you'll see here what I mean. So I'm going to put some foam adhesive on the back of our koala and patient, our koala duck. So I want this image popped up. This is a really quick, easy, fun card. Like I said, you can color this with your alcohol markers or your color pencils, your choice. But this image is a nice size, and it takes up a lot of real estate on your card. So it makes for a quick and easy card. So we're almost done here. I'm just putting these little strips on the bottom of our chair because we don't want it to buckle. Nobody wants a buckle chair. So I'm going to go ahead and put that, remove the backing from our foam dots or foam pads, and then we'll center our doc and patient. So I'm almost done. I think I have almost all of these off. And the koala nurse, she comes alone or bundled just like this set, but her patient doesn't come attached to her. There are two dies in that set. So you have the nurse by herself and then the patient by itself. Or you can, of course, put them together on your card, where this cuts both in one. All right, so back to our card. I'm placing my sentiment on the bottom like so. I haven't pressed it all the way down. It's just placed. And I'm going to put the red one right there. And now you see, I place him on top. And it looks like that's the floor of his office, is that red stripe. All right, so now I pressed everybody down. And now I'm going to put our little finishing touch. I'm going to bring in some navy blue glittered enamel dots from my stash. Now I've had these in my stash for a while. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue down wherever I'm going to place these because I don't trust them to stay. So I'm putting a little dot of glue in 3 spots to move your eye across the card. So I place one here near the sentiment, one near our patient, and one above our doctor here. And now our card is complete. This is so cute. Any child or even adult, because if I got this, I'd be like, oh my God, this is so cute. Would feel incredibly better receiving this card. So what did we use to create our card? We used the Marshmallow cardstock. That's what we used to stamp and color onto. We used the Let's Play Ball pattern paper. That's where we got the Argyle paper from. And the Dr. Koala Bear stamp set. This is the Get Well Soon. I will have everything linked for you in the description box below. Thank you for being here. I hope you found some inspiration.